Well, welcome back to the channel. My name is Randall. This is the McClures. We react, review, we make fun of, we laugh at stuff over here. Links in the description if you want to help support the channel. www.mcclures.store is the website. We sell quality American products. See if we have anything that you like, that you want, that you need. Even if we don't, just buy some car wash because your car is fucking filthy and you should clean it. Okay? We got car wash. James Klug. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. He's got a pretty good YouTube channel. He does a lot of man on the street stuff, and he gets some really good content. So we're going to check out one of his latest videos right now, see what we think. People reacting to Donald Trump's arrest. Now, from my understanding, James is in California. So he's conducting these interviews in a liberal state. I believe he's in California. I'm pretty sure.
Would you say it's protecting democracy to arrest Donald Trump?
For sure.
Let's bring it down.
Boy!
Let's bring it down.
You don't tell me what to do!
So even if you have to arrest political opposition in order to save democracy, that's what you have to do.
Right.
We've turned it into now it was election fraud because there was money. That's preposterous. Trying to turn that into a felony charge, I think, is incorrect, and that's offensive to me, frankly.
Hey, that's my fucking...
Well, folks, Democrats have been working at getting Donald Trump for the last 7 years, and the day has finally come. I'm pretty sure we've all heard by now that a Manhattan grand jury has indicted former President Trump in connection with so-called hush money payments to Stormy Daniels in 2016. Trump is now the first former president in U.S. history to ever face criminal charges. So what do people think about this? Are they saving democracy or are they breaking it? Today we're going to find out. Let's go talk to some people.
I really wish you would stop perpetuating the lie, though, that we live in a democracy. We're not in a democracy. Why do people keep talking about a democracy? Nobody wants to save democracy. Democracy sucks. Democracy works nowhere in the world. That's literally how America corrupts all these other countries, is we get them to be a democracy. That's the worst thing ever.
Huge shout out to our friends over at Allegiance Gold for sponsoring this video. How do you feel about it?
Well, let's see what justice is to be had.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
Very good thing.
Very good thing?
Yeah.
That's a great question. I mean, I guess it depends on if the motives are pure.
20 years from now, they're going to be trying to get him still. So
They've been doing that a lot.
they're still blaming him when he's in his grave.
Well, I think it's a witch hunt. I think it's a bad thing for the country.
If you do the crime, you do the time, right?
What crime are we talking about here?
I think it's going to bring the party together. That's what I think.
I think it's going to show the true colors of the Democratic Party. That's for sure.
Neutral on it. Don't feel too crazy about it.
But
if they're going to go after Trump for some BS.
What I'm always surprised by on James's videos is how many people he talks to when he's in California that are really conservative. Obviously, there's a lot of conservatives in California. They're just outnumbered, so their voting doesn't really matter. But it's just weird to think that there's more Republicans in California than in Republican states. They just don't have any political power. That's crazy.
It's like this. They got to go after everybody else for everything they've done too.
And why do you think so?
I think he's a crook, and he's been the worst thing for our country way back when. I think forever for our country, so I'm very happy he's arrested.
Yeah.
Hope other things surface about
There's
him.
a brain
He
locked
gets locked
retard
up for a long, long time.
Yeah, how long would you like to see Trump in prison?
Till he dies.
Yeah.
I guess the question is, like, are they doing it because they want to keep him from being president again?
What do
or are
you
they
feel
doing
about
for...
it?
Well, I don't think he should be president again.
Well,
But I also don't think that
personal
he should-
views aside, do you think
Sure.
he's being targeted because he's Trump?
Well, of course. But, like, he makes himself a target, so, you know, what do you do?
How does he make himself a target, do you think?
Pick a day, pick a comment. I mean, everything he says is, you know, inflammatory and kind of meant to rile people up, which,
Yeah.
I mean, it works, you know, a lot of people want to.
So if you are inflammatory, you rile people up, whatever it may be, you may be a controversial political figure. There's a handful that we can point to.
Sure.
The law should be used against you.
No, that's my point. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I think that, like, if there's a crime there, it needs to be prosecuted. But if we're doing it, like, you know, creating it, like making it a felony when it's a misdemeanor with ulterior motives, that's not okay. Everybody's like subject to the law at the same level, regardless of who they are or what they say.
Equal treatment under the law.
Exactly.
To me, it's like
Yeah, we
you
don't
gotta
have
get this
equal
guy
treatment under the law,
arrested,
though,
put
for
in
sure.
jail, and to serve.
Would you say it's protecting democracy to arrest Donald Trump?
For sure. Yeah. So.
Do you think it is like good for our democracy
I think it
arresting
is the
Donald Trump?
fundamental of our democracy.
Do you think that Trump's being targeted for being Trump in this case, or no? A lot of people are saying it's political persecution.
Absolutely not. I think that the points are valid that he's being taken to court for. So.
Why do you think so?
Because no one's above the law.
No one's above the law. Should they be targeted by the law?
They weren't targeted by the law. They were just, if you commit that many crimes, you're going to get prosecuted.
Basically, when somebody's trying to destroy democracy, they're going to get targeted because that's what they're doing. If you're trying to destroy democracy, you need to get stopped at all costs.
Yeah. So even if you have to arrest political opposition in order to save democracy,
Right.
that's what you have to do.
Right, for sure.
What's going to happen? It's going to backfire on the left.
Doesn't even get his own logic.
Handcuffed when the 2024 Republicans take over again. And I see
And
Pelosi, I see Schumer, I see a lot of the people that Biden's family are just going to say, you know what, screw this, we're tired of having our hands tied. We're going to break out and do the dirty deeds that Democrats have been doing for decades.
Today we're going to demonstrate how Zuberin can help you burn up to an additional 130 calories per day without you putting in any extra effort.
So,
thanks for your time. Really appreciate it.
What's up, Paul? What up, Paul?
Hey,
you
what
gonna call
are you
the
doing?
cops? You gonna call the cops on me just for talking?
What are you?
You're a
this is
coward.
not
You are a
talking.
coward.
Relax.
You are a coward.
Relax,
You
dude.
edited the video.
No, I
you
didn't.
deceptively edited that mother.
You're doing the
And you
same
lied.
thing that you were
I'm
doing
doing
before.
I wanted to you punk mother.
Please away.
You want to exploit our town?
Get away. Away from
Get
me.
out of HP.
All right, everyone. While this loser tries to attack me for a second time, we're going to go ahead and talk about today's sponsor. On the
Drop
heels
that,
of the
dude.
second largest bank failure in U.S. history and the 8th interest rate spike within a 12-month period, 186
best part
more
of your
banks
video.
are at
What are we
risk of
doing?
collapsing. Your bank could be next unless the Fed does what they just did back in March and print $300 billion out of thin air, making your dollar worthless. Not to mention the recession risk that could have a significant impact on your investment and retirement accounts. So you guys, protect your financial future with something real. Gold and silver
Why is
from
he
my
hiding
friends
behind
over
other
at
people,
Allegiance
bro?
Gold. Allegiance Gold can help you protect your IRA or 401k with physical. Since the beginning of time, Gold has the highest ratings, A+ rating, the quality and service of Allegiance Gold. Oh, and here's the best part. You can get up to $5,000 in
It's
or you can give
definitely
them a
getting
call
people to
at
watch his ad,
with your
though.
money, and don't be some angry dude holding a skateboard shouting at random YouTubers because you're insecure about your financial investments. Protect your financial future with 790-9.
They don't need a full conservative.
Let's
a
bring it
fake
down.
boy.
Let's bring it down.
You don't tell me what to do.
Let's
You
bring
don't
the
tell me to
volume
bring
down.
nothing down, punk.
Let's bring the volume
You don't
down.
say nothing.
Let's bring the volume down,
about me
dude.
on social media. This motherfucker posted on this.
bro. You all good? You all good?
This hateful video.
My cousin, bro. My
I'll give
cousin.
a who he is. I'll say what I say, man. He posted a deceitful video.
Anyways, I'm trying to get security for this video, actually.
You good, dog?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, we good, bro.
Thanks for backing me up.
Oh, good, bro.
It's like, I'll be your security guard. Don't worry.
Got my face, bro. Backhand out of this guy.
Yeah, shut the Yeah, why don't you post the whole video?
Yo, hey man,
Why don't you post the
I'm
whole
done
video?
talking to you.
Don't lay a hand on me.
Hey, that's my fault.
Oh, you're about to get fucked up, bro.
This guy's gonna prick
Dude, good for you. I watch all your videos. Yeah, good for you, bro. I saw it coming. I was like, somebody can hit him.
But I think this is a lesson. I guess they want to show a lesson for the future politician, because we see a lot of, what was that, George Santos lying, people lying. I guess he is a person who they use it for the future politician. Do not do it again.
So just like politically persecute him and then use him as an example to
for the future one, because
for the future people that are probably going to be politically persecuted as well.
Yeah, exactly. Look at that. Like,
do you think this will help Trump, or will it hurt him in his 2024 presidential bid?
Honestly, I don't see, other than some sympathy, I don't see how it could help him, particularly if there's any technicality associated with someone who's been indicted running for office. So I wish it would never have happened.
Yeah.
But I couldn't answer that specifically.
Do you think it'll rally his base at the very least, or no?
I think there's a strong possibility of that, because it's going to awaken how unfair. On the one hand, we stretch the law to try to indict him. On the other hand, you have criminals that murder people and are out on bond within hours. So the legal system's being manipulated to fit a certain narrative.
It might help him among other Republicans, but
that guy's smart.
Ultimately I think it's going to hurt him.
Oh, definitely.
Think so?
Definitely, yeah. People are definitely rallying behind him. They can see through all this nonsense.
I think his base is his base. They're going to vote for him regardless.
Okay. Yeah. You think it'll help with independence at all, or no?
They might sway the opposite way with him. I think maybe the majority are kind of getting sick of him. I want to go a different direction, but I can't say for sure.
You said you're not a Trump supporter, but do you think this will help him during his 2024 presidential bid?
Well, it's going to work for him, for the people that support him, and it's going to I don't suppose it's going to change anything for everybody else.
If people see him as being politically persecuted, do you think that would get some independents over there, or do you think independents are going to stay away from this?
I don't think it's going to bring anybody to him. I think it will solidify the people that are on his side, but I think that's about all it will do. I recognize if there's persecution that shouldn't happen.
It's like Banana Republic style stuff. Sure. Like they send the law after political opponents.
Yeah.
I think he's the best president we've ever had in this country. And I think it's disgraceful the way that the Democrats have weaponized the FBI, the justice system, and everything else. And I think America's behind Trump.
I think it'll help, only
facts.
talking there's no bad press,
That
and
is facts.
Trump is always able to twist it. I'm already hearing seeing him cuffed up on a t-shirt, everyone's gonna buy that. Everyone loved Trump before he went into politics, and I think that's gonna come back again to remember that it's it's for this BS. I think all in all, it's gonna help him.
I don't like the.
You see it as politically targeted?
Oh yeah, witch hunt, bro. Straight up.
Okay, so it depends on what the reasoning was, because I think that leaders of the nation, anybody should be held to the same standard.
Yeah.
But it looks so much to me like it's just politically charged. So it seems to me like they've crossed the line. For example, okay, let's talk about the crime maybe he committed, but trying to say, because if I understand it, you might know it better. But we've turned it into now it was election fraud because there was money. That's preposterous. Trying to turn that into a felony charge, I think, is incorrect, and that's offensive to me, frankly. So,
if I were to speak for myself, I don't see this as in
He
any
has
way
some
good for
facts, at
Democrats,
least.
because this will just be used against Democrats later on.
Exactly. I was actually telling my husband the same thing this morning. It would have to take a really
Well, that's the
calm
they broke
Republican
precedent.
Party.
That's
It'd have to be a really calm and principled Republican Party to not do the same thing later to the Democrats. So that's unfortunate, because that's not where we want our politics to be.
Now, there's a couple examples, obviously, of Democrats looking at this case kind of being weak. You have David French over the New York Times talking about it being weak. We're talking about a campaign finance violation at best here.
Right.
Do you think that was a good idea to break precedent over a potential campaign finance violation when it could open a door to now having, basically legal targets on the back of politicians nowadays? Do you think that's going to be, do you think that might come back to bite Democrats?
Potentially, but if the evidence is there, you got to follow it, right?
Could it end up backfiring?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes. They will try to do that, but I don't know any other presidential candidate that has committed so many crimes.
The fault lies, in my opinion, in the Republicans for not finalizing the impeachment in the second one, because that would have precluded him running ever again. I agree with you. I think that the New York, I'm a New Yorker, so I think that the New York case is
pretty weak.
It's weak. It's pushing it at best, but it's opening up what I expect to be 2 or 3 more different things.
I hope so, because Hillary Clinton, all the emails she trashed, Biden, the laptop, all the money they have pouring in from China and Russia. You know, he's probably the most corrupt president that we've ever had. And I really hope the whole thing turns around and they're the ones who end up in court being judged.
For hush money, which is completely stupid. Okay, even if they did or not, like that. For that, then it better be that we better be throwing the book at everybody else for everything, bringing it all to light, and everybody. We need a complete change. Like, I think this is a great start for a change, for the people to see that it's all BS.
The problem I think a lot of people are seeing here is you have the former DA, Vance, refused to elevate charges against Trump. The feds looked at the same case, refused to elevate charges against Trump. Obviously, that would be breaking massive precedent, and to do that over a campaign finance violation or alleged campaign finance violation would seem a little bit crazy.
It's a huge stretch, right? That's a huge stretch. I think not what you're saying. For them to try to do that, they're like, "Come on, really?"
So I think a lot of people are seeing it that way. Okay. And when it comes to breaking precedent, I mean, even you tune into MSNBC recently, and they're saying, okay, well, you guys, this isn't a slam dunk case. This is a serious stretch, right? Because it becomes a state of mind trial at that point. Do you guys think it's interesting that he put tough on Trump central to his campaign, and then now he's going after this and elevating these charges? You don't think that that's targeted?
I don't know that that was the case. I think that's what the Republicans are saying.
He was very public about that when he was running.
And look at that.
And there was a lot of disappointment with Vance that he was on his way out and just chose not to do the work he was there to do.
You're saying I don't know enough about it to know for sure, so I can't comment, but I don't necessarily believe everything you're saying is right either. I'd have to go back and research that.
Yeah, I think that's a totally fair response. You want to assume I'm not lying to you?
Well, what I have researched is that I don't think he is soft on crime, and he prosecutes these kinds of charges all the time. And from my understanding, there's actually a lot more behind it than just a misdemeanor.
I think there's a difference between nobody's above the law and completely running your campaign. For Alvin Bragg, as the center of his campaign, was going hard on Trump and going soft on the criminals on the street. Right. and then elevating a misdemeanor into a felony by connecting it to basically being a campaign finance issue. That seems as though it's a slightly different conversation than just nobody's above the law.
Yeah. Grand jury said they thought he was guilty, or enough evidence to at least not to find out if he's guilty.
Yeah.
That's as far as I can take it. I don't know if he's guilty or not.
You don't think it's suspicious that we have a soft on crime DA going as hard as possible on somebody that he said that he was going to be tough on while he was running?
I don't think he could have gotten it this far if he didn't have some evidence.
Well, it's not necessarily a jury; it's a grand jury, anyway, so you can pretty much indict anybody.
We're going way deeper than I'd like to go into on this, but
it's egregious because even our district attorney over in LA, Gascon, we're just seeing lawlessness across the board. It's pretty crazy to me. I'm a CJ major over at Cal State Fullerton, so studying this stuff is interesting to me because you can't necessarily. They're like literally saying, "Hey, felons can go into county now." Hardcore felons too, two-time strikers, like guys that should not be out on the street. Police officer recently died because of that, over here in California. So the same thing is going to happen in New York. You can't even ride the subway and feel safe over there.
Do you think that messaging will get across properly? Or how do you think the American people are going to handle this when it comes to Trump's 2024 presidential bid? Do you think this will rally more support for him, or do you see less support for him?
I bet that it won't really make much of a difference. The people who support Trump will continue to do so and use this like a martyr thing, Yeah. But I don't know that that'll recruit more people, and the people that don't support him won't either. I worry that most people have such closed minds that they've made up their decisions long ago, and so I don't think we'll really see. I don't think we'll see a change on support or not support.
It doesn't worry you at all that this could possibly come back to bite Democrats when it comes.
I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I think the political persecution... Let me flip this screen back over. I think the political persecution of Trump will bring more independents over to the Republican side. Because, I mean, if you're honest and you look at it, they're clearly targeting him for political reasons. And if you really love this country... Shit, if you like Biden and Hillary, you don't want them politically persecuting prior presidents or former candidates. Because this is definitely going to open the window, so to speak, to, just a banana republic. Just bullshit. each party using their whole time trying to go after the other party. All that does is leave us, the people, you know, off to the side and irrelevant. So, did you guys watch the Trump interview with Tucker? I was thinking about saving that for today and watching it with you guys, but I did end up watching it, so I've already seen the thing. Did you guys get a chance to take a look? It was a pretty good interview, but they did leave it open. I'm more curious, I think, about what's going to be in the second part of the interview than was on the first part of the interview. But yeah, shout out to James Klug. So that's People React to Donald Trump's arrest. Make sure you go follow his YouTube channel. Give him some support. Yeah, interesting video. Definitely interesting video. Nothing really groundbreaking there. It's pretty much pretty boilerplate standard statements. The best part was the crazy skater dude. And I get why he used it to sell his ad. I didn't skip through his whole ad just because of it, so it did work, but I don't know. Well, link's down in the description if you want to help support the channel. We do go live, rumble.com/McClures, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 3:30 to 5:30. That's the minimum schedule at this point. We are going to start streaming more on Rumble, doing late night streams and whatnot. So make sure you follow, make sure you like, comment, all that bullshit. Check the links, all that good stuff.